Well, hello and aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another evening of music here at From the Top. I'm your host, Peter Dugan. If you were wondering why there are tigers on my shirt, there's a very simple explanation. It's because our musical guests tonight are coming to us live from Hawaii, which is, of course, a state that all of us are kind of wishing we could be in right now. We're expecting more snow here in New York, and gosh, just longing for that sunshine. And these two young violinists, they're sisters. Their names are Ylang and Yxing Guo, 15 and 14 years old. And they performed on our program recently, and they just brought so much of that sunshine, good vibes, aloha energy to the radio program. And I know they're going to do the same this evening. You're going to really enjoy this show. Before we get started, I want to encourage all of you to use the chat section to tell us where you're watching from. Let us know how you're enjoying the program. And later on, be sure to participate in our game. And with that, let's get the music started. We're going to hear a duet from the Guo sisters. So please welcome from the great state of Hawaii, Ylang and Yxing Guo. Give it up for the Guo sisters, Ylang and Yxing. That was stupendous. Would one of you tell us what we just heard?
So we just heard Sarasate's Navarra, and Sarasate was a Spanish composer from the Romantic period, and he wrote this piece in 1889 in honor of his birthplace, which was in the province of Navarre. And this piece is in the style of a Spanish dance called a jota, which is a quick dance with intricate steps. We really enjoy this piece because it's of its brilliance and its excitement and how it's all full of energy.
Well, we really enjoyed the piece because of your brilliance and your excitement that you brought to it. That was so much fun. Actually, for those of you who have listened to the Guo sisters when they were on the radio recently, you may have recognized that piece because that's the piece they performed on our program. We wish so much that we could have been with you both in person in Hawaii, but it was pretty cool. You went to the Hawaii Public Radio studio. You recorded there. We got to chat that way. And, let's chat for a moment about Hawaii. What's it like there? What was it like growing up there? And tell us a day in the life. You want to start, Ylang?
So we really like the weather here because we can go surfing, we can go outside all the time. Yeah, it's really nice weather here. That's what we really love about it. But we also miss because we go to the mainland for summer camp, for a music camp in the summer. And we really miss the different kind of nature there, like the beautiful forests and all these different animals you don't find here, like chipmunks and squirrels and blue jays and all different kinds of animals, and you don't find them here. So
right,
yeah,
but
it's a really nice change.
Yeah, but I'm just kind of running the math on that real quick, and beautiful weather and sunshine and surfing versus squirrels. I think you might have the better side of the bargain there. Anything to add, Yxing, about what it's like, or maybe it's what it's like playing classical music in Hawaii?
Well, here, playing classical music, I really enjoy participating in orchestras and competitions, but since it's an island or a group of islands, there's not very much opportunity to do other things besides orchestra and lessons, of course. And yeah.
But I mean, we are so excited that we were able to feature you on the program, and now you're part of the From the Top family. So next time you find yourselves in the land of squirrels and chipmunks, you let us know. Let's move on now to some more music. But before we do that, if you haven't heard these amazing young violinists on our program yet, you still can. Go to fromthetop.org. Or, better yet, subscribe to the From the Top podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, whether you use Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just subscribe to From the Top, and you can listen to their episode. All right, what are we going to hear next? From what I understand, it's going to be actually a Hawaiian tune. Is that right?
Yes. So, the piece we're going to be playing is called Aloha Oe. I'm going to play violin, and Yxing is going to accompany me on the piano. So it was arranged for violin by Fritz Kreisler in 1925, but it was actually originally written by Queen Liliuokalani, who was the last queen of Hawaii. She wrote it for voice, and she was inspired to write it by when she saw two lovers saying goodbye to each other, and she was really moved by their emotion. So she wrote this melody. Even though it's originally for voice, it has been transcribed for ukulele, for guitar, and of course violin. So aloha is a really special word in Hawaiian. It can be a means of salutation, such as hello or goodbye. It can also mean love, and it's just generally used as an expression of goodwill towards another person. So I think it's a really special word with all these meanings.
Yeah, it is really special. And growing up on the East Coast of the mainland, I never really quite understood it until I finally was lucky enough to be able to make a trip to Hawaii. And I feel that once you're there and you're getting to know the great people of that state and understand the beauty of the lands and the history of the indigenous folk as well, it's then you start to be able to grasp what it means. It's really special. So I can't wait to hear this performance. And 𝐸𝐿𝐸, I didn't realize you were going to give us a treat on the piano. This is going to be really cool. All right, whenever you guys are ready, take it from the top. That was Ylang Guo on violin, and her sister Yxing Guo joined her at the piano. What a beautiful performance, and so fitting, of course, to hear you both perform that Hawaiian classic arranged by Fritz Kreisler, you said, right?
Yes.
Just gorgeous. So we're going to have a little get-to-know-you style game. Now, normally we don't have two sisters, especially two who are so close in age. So we have a unique opportunity here, folks, to get to know the Guo sisters. And we're going to do it with something which, some of us older, more mature folks know this as the newlywed game. But we're going to call it, for you two, we're going to call it, how well do you know your sister? And in order to do that, I think you both need to grab a piece of paper and something to write with, a writing implement or utensil of some sort. Pen, pencil, marker, crayon. I'm stalling. And there we go. They're ready. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. I ask a question, and you each secretly write your answer, and then we'll find out if you both have written the same answer. Okay, first one. What is a food that 𝐸𝐿𝐸 cannot stand to eat or just will not eat? So, 𝐸𝐿𝐸, you write it about yourself, and 𝐸𝐿𝐸, you write it about 𝐸𝐿𝐸, and then we're going to see if you both, came up with the same answer. All right, so what's a food that 𝐸𝐿𝐸 just cannot stand? It looks like maybe there's a lot. Pizza, fried chicken.
Oh, no.
No, she loves those. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, so 𝐸𝐿𝐸, you go first, and then we'll find out if you were right. So what did you say?
I said durian.
Oh, durian fruit. Okay, what do you have written there, Yxing?
I have peppers.
Peppers. Okay, that was, I got to say durian is a pretty safe guess because I don't know anyone who really. And do you like durian, 𝐿ang?
No, I do not. Because I remember a few years ago we tried this durian candy. Like we each had one, and then we both hated it. So that's what I remember a lot.
I probably would have chosen durian, but I just didn't think of it, I guess.
I can't stand the stuff, but peppers, interesting. Okay, the next question. What Disney character does 𝐿Ang most resemble? And it doesn't have to be like physical appearance. It could be like, what's her sort of, which Disney character does she identify with or is most similar to her? So both write down your answer. Just put whatever comes to mind first. So while they're doing that, mine is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. Mostly physically, I resemble him for my bulging biceps. All right, I'm done stalling. Have you written down your answer? Okay, so Yxing, you guess first. You tell us what you wrote first. What Disney character does 𝐿Ang most resemble?
I just put Mickey Mouse because I actually have, we don't really watch super much Disney movies, so.
Fair enough. Okay, Mickey Mouse.
I just put Cinderella.
Cinderella, the classic.
I like animals, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So Cinderella had her mice friends. Of course, Snow White had the bird friends and the squirrels. We know you're a fan of those. Okay. So far, you haven't actually agreed on anything yet, but we're going to continue moving on. What is Yxing's favorite song to sing in the car, or it could be the house, but when she's just kind of grooving, what does she like to sing? And this is about Yxing. Mine would be, I don't know. Whatever it is, it doesn't sound pretty when I sing in the shower, for example. Okay, so 𝐿Ang, what did you write?
Dynamite.
Dynamite? Let's see if she got it. What did you write, Yxing?
She's correct.
Yay! Okay, so now what we're going to do for the last two questions, the gloves are coming off, and the answer that you're going to write is either going to be 𝐿Ang or Yxing. So I'm going to ask a question. The first question is, who is messier? Okay? Which of you is messier? And you both have to write down which is it. You could write me, or you can, you know what I mean? Whatever you prefer. Who is messier? All right? And then you're gonna flip them at the same time when I say go. Tell me, let's wait. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, flip. All right, good. So you guys are in agreement on that. Last one. Who gets in trouble more? 𝐿Ang or Yxing? What's it gonna be? As the youngest of my brothers, I was always getting them in trouble and framing them for stuff. That's
smart.
Dirty secret. All right, you guys ready? 1, 2, 3, flip.
This was hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys both took the blame. It's me. I get in trouble more. No, it's me. No, I'm the one who gets in trouble. That's really sweet. Well, thank you for playing How Well Do You Know Your Sister, Hawaii Edition. The final thing before we jump into the next bit of music, do you have a sort of prized possession or show and tell around that you could share with us?
Yes. So you can go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, here it is.
Oh.
This is my first surfboard that I used. I started surfing when I was around 8 years old, and this is the first board that I used. I'm like, now I'm taller than it, as you can see.
So now do you have a bigger one that you use?
Yeah, now I have one that's around like 5 feet and 10 inches. This was only 5 feet and 2 inches.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so now my littlest sister uses this. It's kind of like hand me down.
Cool, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And what do you have for us, Yxing?
So I have our pet bird. So we actually have 2 other ones, but this one, her name is Kiwi, and she's a Japanese white-eye. And our dad rescued it when he went to work.
Wow, yeah. Beautiful, a rescue bird. I remember seeing the Japanese white-eyes when I went to Hawaii. They're so cute. Well, great. Thank you for sharing that. And as you get ready to dive into the next piece of music, I want to share that our music director at From the Top passed on a very fun bit of information, which is, and I'm not sure if you two are aware of this, when she first heard you play at Meadowmount, which is when you had your audition to be on our program, that was her, our music director's, first day ever on the job with From the Top. So you were the first auditions that she heard, and she wanted me to just share with you that once she heard the 2 of you, she knew she had taken the right job. She was so impressed, and particularly by how mature you played the music of Johann Sebastian Bach, how maturely you played his music. Which is, of course, a rare thing to hear. So I think we're going to be in for a treat. Yxing, you've got some Bach for us, right?
Yes.
What are we going to hear?
So I will be playing the Grave from Bach's Sonata Number 2, and this is actually one of 3 sonatas and 3 partitas Bach composed between the years 1703 and 1720. And unlike most of Bach's other compositions, these sonatas and partitas were written for solo violin. And I really enjoy playing this piece because I like how there are 2 different voices, and in the top voice is the main melody, while the lower voice joins in to support like the melody. Hope you guys enjoy.
Nice. I can't. Hey, this is where you get to tell your older sister, I can play 2 voices at once, all by myself, all on my own on 1 violin. So take a break, Ylang, and take it away, Yxing. That was so beautiful, Yxing. If you're just joining us, that was Yxing Guo. We're working with her and Ylang Guo, her sister, this evening. We're hearing beautiful performances from them, getting to know them. They are coming to us from the great state of Hawaii, which is hence, this shirt. If you're enjoying the performance, please consider making a donation to our efforts. We would so appreciate it. We are an independent nonprofit organization, and the generosity of folks like yourselves makes it possible for us to keep doing what we do and supporting amazing young musicians like the Guo sisters. So thank you so much for that. It's time now for our game. So let's bring both Guo sisters back on. There they are. And are you two ready for this?
Yes, I think so.
I think so. One thing we haven't spoken about yet tonight is the fact that you two have some Italiano ancestry. Isn't that right? Your mom is Italian, right?
Yes, we're half Italian.
Half Italian. Like me. I'm also half Italian. Don't let the Irish name and stuff face fool you. My mom is also Italian. So I thought we'd sort of have fun with that. The game is going to work this way. I say a name, and you tell me, is this the name of a composer or a cheese, a type of cheese? And it's all Italian. This might, for those of you watching at home, this might remind you of our very first game we played months ago, but that was Italian composer or pasta. So technically it's still a new game. It's composer or cheese, and we want all of you to put your guesses in the chat at home. Okay, here comes the first one. Canestrato. Canestrato. Cheese or composer? Ylang, you guess first.
I'm going to guess cheese.
Yxing, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Canestrato is cheese. Very good. That one's cheese. Okay. Next up, we have carabella. Carabella. Cheese or composer? Yxing, what do you think?
I'm going to say it's cheese again.
Okay, one vote for cheese. You agree or disagree, Ylang?
I agree.
That one is a composer. That's Ezio Carabella. Ezio Carabella, 20th century composer who wrote film music. Okay, next up, Bononcini. Bononcini. Composer or cheese? Ylang.
Composer.
Okay, what do you think, Yxing?
I think it's cheese.
A disagreement. The answer is composer. In fact, there were a number of Bononcinis. It was a whole musical family in the Baroque era. There was Giovanni Bononcini, Antonio Bononcini, and Giovanni Maria Bononcini. Okay, nice family. Next up, Caprino. Caprino. Cheese or composer? Yxing. Don't forget to put your guesses, folks watching at home. Don't forget to put your guesses in the chat. What do you think? Caprino.
I think cheese.
Ylang?
I'm going to say cheese also.
You two are good. It's like you know you're Italian. Caprino, yes, that's cheese. That's cheese. That one's cheese. Next one. Pinottini. Pinottini. Ylang?
I'm going to say composer.
Okay, Yxing?
I think it's composer.
You two are so good. That one is a composer, Maria Teresa Pinottini. She was an 18th century harpsichordist, singer, and composer. Why haven't we heard of these composers,
No.
Right? Also, why haven't we heard of these cheeses, too? Anyway, okay. The final round, we have one last question, and this one works a little differently. I'm going to say two names that sound strikingly similar, and one of them is cheese, one of them is a person who wrote music. Here we go. You tell me which is which. One is Fontanelli, and the other one is Fontinella. So there's Fontanelli and Fontinella. One is a composer. You can't make this stuff up, folks. One is a composer. One is a cheese. What do you think? I mean, you can just say the first or the second, Fontanelli or Fontinella? What do you think, Ylang? Which is which?
I think Fontinella is the composer, and the other one is cheese.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Yxing, or do you disagree?
I agree.
Actually, no. I stumped you. Fontinella is the cheese, kind of like Fontina cheese, which is something that I actually have heard of. And Fontanelli is a 16th century composer. You two were fantastic. You really did beautifully. I hope you all enjoyed that at home. We're going to now dive into the last performance of the evening. This has really flown by. It's been such a treat having both of you on the show. I want to thank everyone at home for watching. We so appreciate you taking some time to just hang out with us and support these incredible young musicians. What a dazzling evening of music it's been. Let's find out, what are you guys going to play next?
So we're going to play another duet called La Bella Cubana. It was composed by Jose White Lafitte, who was a prominent violinist in the 1800s from Cuba, but he was trained at the Paris Conservatory in France. And actually, he studied there at the same time as Sarasate, even studying with the same teacher, which I thought was super cool. So you could even imagine that they might have shared compositional ideas. So La Bella Cubana is probably one of his most famous pieces. It's based on a dance called the habanera, which is supposed to have a really catchy rhythm and originates in Cuba.
Great. This is going to be such a fun way to close out the evening. Thank you both so much. Ylang, Yxing, you two are superstars. Thank you so much for your performances.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Take it away. Woo! Bravo, bravo, tutti bravo. That was so wonderful. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Ylang and Yxing Guo coming to us from the great state of Hawaii. That was so beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Peter Dugan. Good night and aloha.